Maybe he's roosting somewhere and we should just go over to the house anyway.
I don't see why not.
Okay, so let's do it. Let's go. He's pretty good at tracking us. He'll show up when he shows up.
And Nicodemus, you're awake.
Duh.
Sorry, I didn't see you there. All right.
Your horns get in the way.
Yeah, they do that, don't they?
So, you learn to live with them.
Okay, I'm now connected. Do I have power? Ooh.
I can hear you.
What?
Okay. No one move. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. I'm connected. And I have power.
Wow.
You have the power.
Unlimited power.
Okay. So everyone begin with your
Inspiration.
your
Walk point.
inspiration. Oh, I gotta blow my nose. Hold on. There's no tissue here. Hold on.
I need a bit of inspiration.
Is anyone else hearing Morse code?
Yep. I got to change that. That's on my ham outfit.
Yeah, I'm hearing it too. You have a ham radio?
Yeah, I'm a ham operator.
We have a spy among us.
It's me.
There we go. I just changed the frequency.
Do you know all clerics are spies? They
Okay, forgive me. I'm
temples
back.
have their own spy network.
Okay, so you guys all have your inspiration.
Mhm.
You guys, last left off, you guys made it to Waterdeep. You guys are in the North Ward at the Roaring Horns estate, and there was a big garden party going on, and you guys ended up meeting and are now sitting in the office of oh, what the hell's his name now?
Zelron.
Zelron Roaringhorn. And you guys are sitting in like a library. Everything is very nice, polished, dark wood shelves lined with books, a few knickknacks. It's very tidy. There are the one wall is all glass panels showing to the outside. It's not like you don't see like the party going on outside in this part of the garden, but there's lots of light in here. There are a few smaller chairs and wooden tables for reading, and at the end there's like a big desk with a big puffy leather chair where he is now seated. You guys all kind of can grab a comfortable chair. The door opens and in walks his like 7 foot tall armor clad companion. Clang, clang, clang. And it sets down a tray with some decanters on the desk.
Is there a person underneath that suit?
And Kelvar kind of raises an eyebrow and he says, "Keen eye." And he touches his own sternum. And you don't see anything at first, but you realize that it probably does look like he's wearing an amulet under his robes. And he says, "They're all the rage," as he watches this thing go over, close the door, and then it clang, 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 takes position slightly to the left and behind his chair.
Oh, I've got to have. How much did it cost? Where'd you get it?
He says, "The Temple of Gond will sell them." He says, "The price," he kind of weighs with his hand. He says, I do not recall offhand. I could look at my records, but... And he looks like he's only about 30, 35, but his eyes look more mature, more...
Garl will say, "I bet it cost you your soul. You made a deal with one of the demons."
Oh, the humor of you little ones. I'll never understand. I'll never understand. And he says, and like even like Warvel the dwarf is there, and Sarac is there. So there's like 7 of you guys, you know, filling into this room, and there's still room. Like there's still a couple couches and a couple chairs empty. You know, there's like a chandelier that you can see can be lowered by a chain off to the side, which has half melted candles, which are currently unlit because it's daytime. But it's a very nice library / lounge. There's ashtrays on a couple of the shelves. You can, because this room, it totally smells like wood, leather, tobacco, fire smoke, paper. It's
Brimstone.
there's brimstone. No brimstone. Nope. He says
Garl would throw that on in there after the soul, the taking of the soul. Smells like
He
brimstone.
he says, I assure you, he's everything here comes from study, skill, and of course, he kind of smirks. He's like, heritage. He's like, but that's water deep. And he stands up and he will like offer you guys like tobacco from a container and get you fill glasses, hand them out. And he said, sure, yeah. He says, on the box, on the shelf right there, he says there's a selection. He says to Serac,
We'll start rummaging through the box and pick me out a nice long curved one.
oh yeah, there's one of those. There's a skinny one of clay, skinny one of metal. There's like a Sherlock Holmes. There's like some wooden ones. Yeah, there's about like 6 in there. Gas pipes.
Sherlock one.
Yeah.
That's the one.
Yep. Yep.
Big like
no
corn
problem.
bowl. Yeah.
Yeah. And he says, as he brings Serac his glass, he says, so, your father is, fuck. What was his name?
Phil.
I could look, but I just don't want to. The dude with the ring of winter. He says, you're his son. And, yeah. And he says, so, what is that? Why you come here? Or is there more?
Well, we were curious if you knew the whereabouts of Phil with the Ring of Winter, and when was the last time you heard from him, and what do you know of him? We fear
He doesn't say anything right off the hop. You can tell he's kind of thinking. Once everyone is all served, he then goes and takes his seat behind his desk, sits down quite casually with the drink on the table, filled with amber liquid, shining in I'm just looking for the name because I'll find it right here. He says, I was not aware that he had anything of importance.
He may or may not, but some frost giants believe he does, and that's why he is in grave danger.
Artis Zember.
Yeah, that's the name.
He says,
yeah.
I didn't know. He says, I know that Artis has disappeared. And I could personally say that even magical attempts have failed at finding him.
That's not good.
And he
Okay,
says,
so he
looking at
must
Serac,
have.
he says, I knew your father very well. Or the good news is, we also have no reason to believe he's dead.
Well, if he isn't dead, then he must have something that would prevent someone from finding him through magical means. Then, yes.
Or magical way of preventing people to detect one magically.
That
Sure, because
it
of the
is
clip.
possible. It is possible to hide one's self magically from divination and such. But and you can see his
The
brow kind of
rascal
furrows.
The rascal stole my people's magic, Garl will say.
I want him. Is Garl smoking, by the way?
Nope.
Okay. I'm gonna change the. I'm gonna use thaumaturgy to change the color of the flame in my pipe to gold, just because I'm bored.
Mm-hmm.
That's impressive.
Very good tobacco, though.
Yeah.
Very good liquor too. Whatever you're drinking.
Smart question. Can you retcon something real quick?
Mm-hmm.
I just thought of it since you started mentioning divination. Before we got here, could I have done an augury ritual to determine if this would be a good or bad meeting?
Yes.
Okay.
Because you even on the trip here, you knew you were coming here. Like we might have forgotten as players, but your character knew.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we were what?
Yes, and wheel. Yeah. Yes, and good.
Wheel? Cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
Continue.
Like he's sincere. Yeah, he says no. There are ways a person could do hide themselves magically, but it seems to even be more than that. But good news is we don't think we have no reason to believe he's dead. And he did say we, not I. And he gives a sip of his cognac. And
I noticed that you say we, not I.
oh, did I slip of the tongue?
Royal,
Ah,
royal we. Do you have a wife, good sir?
I do. She's out in the yard, being the great hostess that she always is. He says, after all, it's family from my side. He says, really, I should be the one out there, but she's the one that glows at that sort of stuff. Me, not so much. I prefer books.
Well, the other reason that we came here, some giants attacked. Where was it? Where was it? Where was it? Where Nicodemus slayed Driffy?
Tin Town. Tin Towns. Brent, Brian.
Brent Shander.
Shander?
Brent Shander.
Yeah, and let me know if
The
you'd like the
giants
story of how I found the
attacked.
giant Queen Rupee. I shall regale you with that story over a fine glass after we're done with this meeting.
It's going to be a long story.
He
Long
leans
story-
forward He leans forward and he points to the breast of anyone who's wearing their medallion out in the open. He says,
Yeah.
I noticed that. He says, but... He says, so,
So,
you're the ones.
So the reason that I bring it up is because the Frost Giants called out Artis Ember by name. Obviously, he wasn't in that village, but we believe that some magic may have mistaken his son for him. So this is why we've come out this way to see if we can maybe get him somewhere away from that.
He says, so you're the ones.
Yes, we are, yes.
Word had traveled that some group of adventurers had deterred some giants from attacking a Brinchander. After all, he says, there's been attacks up and down the coast from what we've heard. He says,
yes,
but not just from the frost giants.
Yes, we heard about some stone giant attacks as well.
Well, it seems that out east, and north, he's like the hill giants and the stone giants. And he says, and the fire giants have been spotted everywhere. The storm giants, or the frost giants, have been up and down the coast. And he says there have been sightings of cloud giant activity. But
yeah, we heard about some of that as well. In Nightstone. Although we didn't see it ourselves.
He says, look, give me a moment. You see, he stands up and he touches his medallion. And he looks at the thing. And it just comes alive with movement, and it goes towards the door, strides out. Clang, clang, shuts the door behind it. You hear it clank off down the hallway. And he says, your father, he says to Sarah, and I are members of the Harpers. We heard rumor that your father had the Ring of Winter. Shortly after that, we lost track of him. And as I said, your father and I are friends first, colleagues second. And you can see that he does have like genuine concern in his eyes. He says, I'm hoping that he hasn't been corrupted by this thing.
Do you
That he
think
has.
that's possible?
I think with an item of such power, yes, it is possible. After all, the Ring of Winter is a true artifact. We are working on finding him for everyone's safety, but mostly I want to know if my friend is okay.
Oh, what's his mom?
So what does this artifact, this Ring of Winter, do besides just make snowballs and make?
I mean, we don't really know what it does. We've heard of it, but we've not heard what it does, really.
If you recall, the giant we talked to after we defended successfully Bryn Shander and I killed Queen Rupee, was that it would bring the world into a state of perpetual winter, in which case I told the guy that then there'd be no more grapes to make wine out of, and who would want that? And he then said, but have you ever had ice wine where you kill the grapes with the frost? And I'm like, oh, that sounds tasty. I'd like to have it. But the grapes wouldn't grow in the frost to begin with. You'd have to have at least some spring for
But
them
you
to kill
can't
by a
trust
frost.
it. You can't trust it.
I don't think they thought this through.
You know how those giants are. Look at what they were doing to those poor peasants in and around Bryn Shander. They just say whatever they could just to spare their miserable small lives.
He says, well, as I say, the Ring of Winter is an artifact. So what it does specifically, I can't say. He says, like most artifacts, that would probably change individual to individual. But we believe its purpose, that its will, is to do exactly that, to bring on a planetary ice age. Now, whether...
Frost Giants will be having a ball with that.
Well,
Wow.
I can... That's a concern if they want it, because now... Because artist... Now, has artist been corrupted, or is he keeping it safe? We don't know any of this. He says, this is something we are working on. And he says... Especially to know that the Frost Giants are aware of it. And they were able to track you?
We believe it was a mistake, and I'm not entirely sure how they knew that. They came looking for our December in Brinchester. Obviously, he wasn't there, but his son was. I don't exactly know how that kind of magic works, but maybe that will give you some indication that you may be able to figure out what they were using.
Interesting. And he looks at Serac again, kind of eyeing him up, eh?
Could you perchance help this man by securing passage and escort to the far southern realms where the winter does not touch at all, where he would be much safer from these frost giants?
You mean they're still tracking him?
It's possible.
Perhaps you could have something magical means to help him not be tracked, such as what Artemis has acquired. I mean, God dang!
I'm sorry, mute. My bad. Didn't break, did it?
Because surely a man of your abilities, who has such a fine servant, could possibly have something tucked away somewhere that would allow him to escape detection.
He leans back and rests his elbow on the arm and taps his chin with his finger.
Or maybe you take up his protection here in Waterdeep. Since he's the son of your old friend.
You know, I could see that. I'd like to see the Frost Giants march an assault on this place in order to get to him.
He says, I would...
Flying griffins.
Because you're my friend's son, he says, I would do any of it. Whatever you should choose. If you should choose to stay here, or if you should choose to travel, I will do what I can. Especially if you believe that they're tracking you. He says, however, he says, I must admit, I'm very curious. He says if they could track him, perhaps whatever means they have, we could use to track down Artemis ourselves.
Good point. Yeah.
Well, it depends. It depends on how it works, but yes, it could. We could have a look. Have a look at if we could get hold of it, of course.
We do have Queen Rupee's eyeballs. You remember the frost giant queen I slayed?
Yes. I
We
believe
could use-
Cloud is keeping the eyeballs nice and safe.
You guys hear eventually clang coming back down the hallway. Door opens, and it has a leather sack with an embroidering of a glade, a forest glade on it. And he sets it down on the table. And Calderon's like, and he sits forward. And he says, I actually did hear of heroes saving Bryn Chander. Did not know it was you. It's a pleasure to meet you all.
Pleasure to meet you, sir.
You're the son of my friend. He says, it would be lax of me to let you all go without giving you some sort of assistance. So, everybody may choose an item off of Dungeon Master item table B.
Oh shit! 1 second.
What? Dungeon Master, what?
Dungeon Master Guide,
item
magic
table
item
B.
table B.
What page?
Wow. Wherever items are.
I'm just
Treasure.
putting up the guide now so I can.
Treasure table B. I was going to roll, but I'm like, no. Because I was looking at it, I'm like, nah, because there could be duds, so I'm just going to let them pick. It says, or let them pick, so I'm just going to let you guys pick.
So which table is it again?
Magic item table B.
Sorry, B or D?
B.
Beta.
Beta. Thank you.
Bravo.
All right, let's see if we can find this.
And he pulls them out just for, in case, bag of holding. Just in case. Because I actually think bag of holding is on that table.
Ooh, bag of holding. Villain's weakness. Are you talking magic item table B?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, I found magic items. Magic item table B. Just FYI, it is page 144.
Square root 12.
Potion of greater healing. Potion of breath, fire breath. Potion of resistance. Ammunition +1, aka I suppose quiver of arrows or something. Potion of animal friendship. Ooh. Potion of hill giant strength. Potion of growth. Potion of motherfucking water breathing. Spell scroll 2nd level. Spell scroll 3rd level. Bag of motherfucking holding. Keaton's ointment. Ooh, Keaton's ointment. Oil of slipperiness, dust of disappearance, dust of dryness, dust of sneezing, and motherfucking choking. Elemental gem. That sounds cool. That sounds pretty too.
It lets you summon an elemental
It's
once.
a one-use elemental, yeah. You smash a gem.
It's conjure elemental once.
Does it have concentration?
So,
I would say so. You'd have to read it, but I think
you're essentially casting the spell.
Yeah.
No. Sounds pretty.
It's cool.
Potion of love, alchemy jug, cap of water breathing. Ooh. Cloak of the Manta Ray. Hey, I already have a cloak though. Drift Globe, Goggles of Night. I'm assuming that just gives you dark vision.
Mm-hmm.
Helm of Comprehending Languages. Handy dandy. Immovable Rod.
Cool.
So handy. Lantern of Revealing. Mariner's Armor. Mithril Armor.
Wow.
What does Mithril Armor do?
Wait, Mithril Armor's
I
on
think
there?
it's a category lighter.
Yeah. So I could get like
or
a
something
full
like
plate
that.
Mithril Armor.
That's
with
what I'm
magnesium.
getting. Full plate Mithril Armor.
I'm not sure if I should go for the Robe of Useful Items or for the
Oh,
Alchemy
that's
Jug.
nothing. That's good too. Ring of Swimming. Potion of Poison. Oh, love potions of poison. Robe of Useful Items is cool. Rope of
But if you
Flight.
get the jug, of course you get the poisons with it.
Yeah. Saddle of the Cavalier. I don't know what that does, but it sounds cool.
It's for mounted characters, so it would only be if you haven't had a mount. But you could train one of the horses that we have to be a mount.
Wand of Secrets. So I'm assuming that just reveals secret doors and crap like that. Sounds
I
crappy.
don't know.
Ooh, that Robe of Useful Items is so useful. As is the immovable rod.
Darla, go
Keaton,
ahead and pick
no.
up a bag of holding.
We got the
Yep.
cart.
Hey, if we get 2 bags of holding, we can drop one bag of holding into the other one and create a black hole.
Destroy the universe. Keaton's Ointment. Let me look at that one. Ooh, Holy Avenger. I just found it in the item list, not that it was on that table. Or I'd take it, and I'm taking my next level as Paladin. What is this? Iron Stones. I hate Iron Stones. They just seem stupid to me.
I'm taking the Mithril Armor because I've been kind of trying to play the role of the tank, but it's not really been working. So having 20 AC might help.
This jar, 3 inches in diameter, contains 1d4 plus 1 doses of a thick mixture that smells faintly of aloe. The jar and its contents weigh. As an action, 1 dose of the ointment can be swallowed or applied to the skin. The creature that receives it gains 2d8 plus 2 hit points, ceases to be poisoned, and is cured of any disease. Oh. That's not as cool as I thought it was. I mean, I already have all that abilities. Why would I got cure spells.
Okay, I've got to see if I can sell my chainmail because there's no way I can carry around chainmail and full plate it as well.
That's what we have a cart for.
Yeah.
Keaton's Ointment's not as cool as I thought. I thought that was the one where you draw pictures, the illusion paint stuff. Dust.
I think I'll go for the Robe of Useful Items.
Yeah. Everyone choosing?
I thought Wand of Secrets.
Yeah,
What does it
I've
do?
chosen.
Or at least narrow it down?
Wand of Secrets, or I'm actually tending towards the Filter of Love. Oh, does the Alchemy Jug allow you to make wine, beer, spirits?
Well, beer is one of the options.
Probably.
Yes.
Beer is an option.
Acid.
You kind of have to say the alchemy jug now, don't you?
if any form of alcohol is listed,
Yes, there's acid, basic potion, beer, honey, mayonnaise, oil, vinegar, water, fresh water, water, salt, and wine.
okay,
Beer and wine are both listed.
okay, there we go. Wondrous item. This ceramic jug appears to be able to hold a gallon of liquid and weighs 12 pounds. It's pretty heavy. Whether full or empty. Sloshing sounds can be heard from within the jug when it is shaken, even if the jug is empty. You can use an action and name one liquid from the table below to cause the jug to produce the chosen liquid. Afterward, you can uncork the jug as an action and pour that liquid out up to 2 gallons per minute. The maximum amount of liquid the jug can produce depends on the liquid you named. Once the jug starts producing a liquid, it can't produce a different one or more of one that has reached its maximum until the next day. Once the jug starts producing a liquid, it can't produce a different one. Okay, so it can only produce one per day and only the maximum amount said in this chart. Okay.
So how much wine or ale can you make a day?
I can make a gallon of wine or 4 gallons of beer. Or I can make a gallon of honey and turn that into like 2 or 3 gallons of mead in six months. Which, by the way, I'm going to be making a lemon mead this Saturday as I take my pomegranate wine off the jug and replace it with a lemon honey mead. And that will be ready August 1st. And so on August 1st, I'll be able to take that lemon mead and crush it up and put it in my blender with ice and make hard lemon cider ices.
That'd be good in the wintertime, warmed up if you're sick.
I may have some left over by winter, but I don't know. I still have some of my apple cinnamon wine from Christmas left over.
Yeah, it would be good if you're sick.
Now, from a mechanical perspective of what can I do it, I can get a quart of oil or 8 ounces of acid.
Indeed.
Or a half ounce of basic poison. I'm assuming what the hell basic poison is. It's something though, right?
DM's guide, yeah. DM's guide, the equipment.
You get 4 portions of poison.
That's 4 doses? It's half ounce?
I assume that's why they're saying it that way.
Well, it says half ounce. I don't know how many doses that is, or if it's a. Where would poison be? Look in the index.
Just in the basic equipment.
The player's handbook or the.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
Because it's along with like the fucking flaming oil and whatever it's called.
Alchemist fire.
Yeah.
So my armor. So I think we're gonna just, if you're aware, I think my armor's gonna have like lightning bolts on it, but they only show up while I'm calling lightning.
Sure.
Because I kind of think that sounds cool.
BRB, I'm going for another muffin.
Those muffins must be good.
Muffins are good.
Depends. Blueberry muffins are not as good as chocolate muffins.
I'll disagree with that one.
Depends on the muffin.
Now he just makes me want to eat muffins. No fair.
Go and get some
Not
muffins
made
then.
muffins in a while. Adventuring Guild, Alchemist Fire, Arcane Focus, Antitoxin, Ball Bearings, Block and Tackle. It skips Basic, so maybe it's in Poison then. Oh. Holy water. Ooh, life. I'm walking on holy water. And then oil. 1 pint is a thing of oil.
So what's everyone taking then?
Poison bacon. You can use the poison in this vial to coat 1 slashing or piercing weapon or up to 3 pieces of ammunition. Applying the poison takes an action. A creature hit by the poison and weapon or con saving throw or take 1d4 points of damage. Once applied, the poison retains potency for 1 minute before drying.
Yeah.
Doesn't say how many doses that is, though. Let me see here if it says maybe in the table. Poison vial. Doesn't say. So that, I don't know, it'd be up to you how many doses that is.
Well, I'm sure like each half ounce. That's why they say it that way.
Okay. So it'd be like 1
Otherwise,
dose.
they would have said 2 ounces, right? Like, because they didn't say 4 half ounce.
Yeah.
Right. So it's. I would assume that it's 4 doses. Otherwise, like you said, they would have said 2 ounces.
No, it didn't say 4 half ounces. It just said half ounce. Yeah, it just said you get a half ounce. A half ounce. It doesn't say you get 4 half ounces. It says you get 8 half
Oh,
ounces.
yeah, here I thought it said 4. No, it must be like 1 application or something.
Yeah,
I
that
don't know.
seems a safe assumption to me. I was looking to see how much a half ounce is, but it's just basic poison, half ounce. That's all. I just looked at a pint of oil and I get a quart. So how many quarts are in a pint? How many pints are in a quart?
2 pints are in a quart.
2 pints are in a quart? Okay.
Yeah.
So a half pint is a cup?
Yeah.
Huh.
Unless it's a British pint, then it's 20. 20 ounces, not 16
Okay.
in a quart. That's when you go to a pub, like a true pint, like a beer pint is normally bigger because it's like the British 20 ounce pint.
Oh. So in which
So
case, a
this
half pint would be 10 ounces.
Yeah.
It
Right.
comes in pints?
Right. Yeah.
Well, I, sir, good sir, will definitely take you up on that offer. And that jug that produces wine seems exactly the type of thing that I would love to have.
It even uncannily has a like forestry motif of like with a satyr on it.
Yeah. Buckets approved.
Yeah.
Well, sir, since you insist on making sure we're not unprepared, I'd like to have the robe of useful items. I imagine that would be very useful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's right in the name. You may.
Thank you, sir.
And then we can get Cloud's choice whenever he desires to. But yeah, that's everybody. Mithril armor, robe of useful items, bag of holding, and the jug.
You can get 2
I think we're
dogs for the
covered.
robe. You can get 2 dogs from the row of useful items. That's awesome.
That is.
Anyway, thank you very much.
The Harpers, as well as the Lord's Alliance, even the Black Network itself.
Oh yeah, one of their fellows does not like me very much. Some half-elven guy came up to Nightstone. I put him in his place. He doesn't like me much.
Well, they're not ones to forgive and forget. But even the Black Network has been working with the Lord's Alliance and the Harpers, not like with us, but try to find a solution to whatever is going on with the Giants.
Yeah, trying to find a solution of what's going on with the Giants that'll benefit them.
Well, he says, and that's the problem with the Zentarum. We've even...
Did I mention that my good cohort over here, Farai, was almost insistent on trying to let them into Nightstone to take over?
I didn't know who we didn't know who they were at this point.
You were trying to lower the drawbridge.
We didn't know who they were.
Spy, traitor.
So, just FYI, you may want to keep an eye on that one. I mean, not only does he have a devilish appearance to him, but, you know, could be in his heart
Let's
as well.
not have internal conflict already.
You know, you can't trust those devils or those.
Let's leave that to the drunken dispute over the bill at the tavern.
Oh, yeah. He says, the Zentarum, we know, have tried to approach the Lord's Alliance to work together, but wisely enough, the Lord's Alliance turned them down. After all, you never know exactly what the true motives of the Zentarum. He says, after all, even right now in Waterdeep, he says there's essentially a war going on between the Black Network and the Xanathars Guild.
Sounds like a decent thing. Maybe they'll, you know, destroy each other.
I believe that that's what many on the council are thinking.
Perhaps they'll steal a dragon.
How would one steal a dragon?
I don't know.
Under a very large
Cleverly.
jacket.
Or
You
cleverly,
would-
very cleverly.
You shrink them on down and put them on a chain.
I didn't say
You
what
ask
type
them
of dragon.
politely.
To be fair, I didn't say what type of dragon. It could be a pseudo dragon.
I always assumed Dragon Heist was more about a horde, not
He just says
I think it is, but
Zelron says, well, actually, dragons are actually warded to stay out of Waterdeep.
yeah,
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
yeah. There's like a dragon. There's a massive dragon war spell or something that stops all dragons from entering.
What? Yeah. Dragons cannot enter Waterdeep. Everything else can.
What about Dragonborn?
No, they're humanoids, so they can.
So so you're saying there are no dragons in Waterdeep, not even the good ones.
Not in the city itself. There's sometimes word of a dragon spotted in the harbor, but I've never seen it myself. But it sometimes makes the broadsheets, but you know, a lot of it's fake news.
So what we plan to do next is to go and see if we can deal with the stone giant problem on the roads. Would your organization or the Orth Alliance be willing to offer us any assistance or information?
Oh, you mean like a free magic item or what? Like, what are you talking?
I was more looking at information about where we might be able to find them than anything else.
Yeah, that would be cool too, though.
Um,
You know, any assistance they could loan us, like arrows of giant slaying or
Yeah.
and make our job significantly easier and guarantee the success of our enterprise.
He says right now, your guess is as good as mine, and we are constantly working on this. To have like people who are like also trying to like work to defeat this problem, you know, that's hence why I gave you guys something. He says, if you guys, he says right now, our concern is that we are hearing of raids and stuff, like villages being attacked. Whether for food, or we've heard stories of the stone giants coming in and demolishing villages. And he says right now, winter will be coming soon enough. And
Brace yourself.
the harvest should be moving and coming in. And basically, we got to protect that harvest.
Or else how can we brew more beer?
Well, and we'll have mass starvation.
Just remember, beer is liquid bread.
All I would suggest to you all is, like, if you want to go anywhere, I would head to Golden Fields. Just because he says Golden Fields, and like Silence, you know a lot of Golden Fields. The rest of you guys have heard quite a bit of Everyone kind of knows Golden Fields because that's where a lot of food comes from. Like, you can be in Waterdeep, you can go buy bananas because of Golden Fields.
And I hate to bring, but bananas burned down like 10 years ago. It's a restaurant on the river across from the Fort Boonesboro State Park. It burned down 10 years ago.
Oh.
I used to live right above it. Just
FYI. Ooh. Were you home when the fire happened?
No, I lived above it as a child.
Okay.
30 years ago, I lived above it, and about 10 years ago, it burned down.
Oh, okay. So he says Golden Fields is a walled agriculture city. It's a stronghold of Shantea and her followers. And basically, that's why like people up in the north eat anything more than like, potatoes and choke cherries, right? Like, they could grow anything there. They grow lots of it there. They preserve much of it. They ship it all over the place. it's, why there's food for a large part.
I bet that supplies milk,
would my
grain,
character-
barley, and hops for beer.
Isn't
they
that
have
the
Mhm.
place? Isn't
Here,
that the
too.
place we heard that the stone giants or something were harassing?
Yeah, that's why we need to go there. That's where we should go next. It's not far from here, is it?
I don't think so. I don't remember, I don't know if I remember, but if someone's to find on a map or something like that, I was having a hard time finding travel distances. But I know it's like pretty much directly east from Waterdeep.
Alright.
But I don't know if it's like 3 days, 6 days. I don't know. I really don't. I was really having a hard time finding travel distances. I
Yeah,
noticed in the new Essentials, like D&D Essentials, like they released a bunch of like adventures out in that. Because it's for beginner DMs, they put that detail in.
Yeah.
They would say it's like this many miles, this many days away from here, and like everywhere, right? Like if you're going to travel to this place, this is how far it is. This is how far this one is, right? They really. Anyways.
Mm-hmm.
Make them time. 3 days journey. It
Yeah.
should be
A
right.
time. But he says because frankly, it's kind of happening everywhere.
How about
Yeah.
any hill giants? Do you know of any raids by them locally?
Oh yeah. Oh well, yeah. We hear of all the. He says we hear of raids of fire giants and frost giants nearest, but we're getting stories of like all types of giants.
Yeah,
So
how about oaks? They're more up our size at the moment.
yeah.
Well,
So
perhaps we can take care of at least some of the stone giant threat near Gunfields. Make a bit of a difference there.
See,
Yeah.
out of character, I'm thinking, stone giants are lower on the totem pole than frost giants.
Then
That's
frost giants, yeah.
Yeah.
And also, I'm thinking stone giants because they're the second least of the giants. And where we went through Storm King's, not Storm King's Thunder, but against the giants, and we went through, the hill giant setting, the hill giant chief, place where so the frost giant jarl, and all the fire giant. There was no stone giant thing, so that would be like completely new to us.
There was one, I think.
Yeah,
There was
they
one in the hill giant setting.
I'm assuming they're going to be somewhat similar, or at least based in homage to the original 1E versions of these things.
I think my shatter might be effective on them because they're going to be stone giants, so technically not organic.
Sure, maybe.
Maybe. But that's the same as frost, right?
Yes, we'll see.
Also not organic.
Well, are we going to head that way then?
Yes.
I'm ready.
Yeah, we're going-
I'm ready to go.
Can you hear-
Well,
I'll see if I can sell my chainmail before we go, though. Just may as well while we're in Waterdeep, right?
well, yeah. You guys are
Yep.
water deep. You guys could easily waste the day and leave in the morning or something.
I don't really think I have much money to buy anything. That's what I really want.
Because it is like pretty much like dusk now by this time.
Perhaps you could help me sell my chainmail sounds for get me a good price.
No,
you
guys were staying at like the Troll Skull Alley, which is
Yeah.
nearby, and you guys know that there's like a blacksmith shop there, and
Yeah. Okay. Sure.
Hey, just out of curiosity, would mithril armor allow, since it would be one status category, would it allow you to have a dexterity bonus as well?
I think so, but I'm not sure. I haven't read it in a long time. I just remember my brain is paraphrasing it. Like, don't take that as raw.
Your bonus,
No, you don't get your dex mod.
you stays the same. It's just that it's lighter. It's lighter, and
Yeah.
some of them.
Yeah, you don't get disadvantage on dexterity stealth checks, and there's no strength requirement for it.
Yep.
Oh, so it still doesn't count as lighter armor?
No,
Like, you know, I'm only allowed to have medium armor?
it still counts as heavy armor.
Oh, okay, so I couldn't wear
It just
any
doesn't have a strength requirement or disadvantage on stealth.
Oh, so I could have gotten mithril half plate.
You could.
Yes.
Oh, alchemy jug is better. It'd only be a +1 to my armor class. Who cares? Alchemy jug is better.
Anyway, we go sell my chamber.
Oh, Manor's armor. Armor, medium, or heavy. While wearing this armor, you have a swimming speed equal to your walking speed. In addition, whenever you start your turn underwater with 0 hit points, the armor causes you to rise towards the It's kind of cool.
Yeah.
He and his shield guardian.
Oh, is that what that is?
Yeah. Yes. They're awesome. And they're very trendy bodyguards. They escort you guys out of the house, out into the yard. Serac says he's going to head back to Troll Skull Manor with you guys. And Zelron says that he'll get hold of him there or whatever, blah, blah. But he says his farewells, leads you guys out through the yard as a party's going on. There's like even some music playing, like, you know, quartet type thing. And he'll take you guys out to near the front and say farewell, and you guys leave. When you guys get out onto the street, you guys can see that like the sky is like painted a beautiful color in the west over the ocean. You guys can, you know, are like up high in the city in the North Ward, and there's flocks of fancy looking pigeons flying around. There's some like street sweepers and stuff, but you know, street's actually kind of quiet. Most people are like the what you call it, servants have gone home, and the people who are home are like having dinner and stuff like that. So it doesn't take long for you guys to walk to Troll Skull Manor. That area is a little bit more commercial. There's a little bit more hustle and bustle out on the street. Ryan, you go look over, and there's like that chainsmith shop, or blacksmith shop, and they are still open.
Okay.
It's run by what do we call it? Fire Ganassi and water Ganassi, and it's even called like Flame and something or Steam and whatever. I don't remember, and they half price.
Half price. Okay.
That's how it goes. Whatever the cost is of your armor, half
Sounds
price
good.
is what you'll get paid.
I'll check that then.
They're clearly a married couple. And they act like it. Like one is quiet and the other one is always nagging.
So half of 75 gold pieces.
Half of what?
Half of 75 gold pieces.
Okay, is 37 and 5 silver.
Okay, good.
The Troll Skull Manor is hopping already. There's a lot of people in there dining. the instant you guys walk in, the whole place cheers. Everybody is here to listen to music again.
Oh,
Like the
okay.
instant you guys walk in, everybody.
All
And
right, I'm on spirit.
It's even
I'm
busier.
On, I'm on.
And when you guys are kind of like, well, how come it's so busy? It's just because of you guys in the night before. Because wasn't it like a 26 or 27 for that performance check or something?
All right, same
So
deal.
they are
I'll
expecting another show tonight. So make it easy without paying.
Yeah.
Let's get silence to roll. A
Let's
charisma
see.
check with
Hell-
advantage. Because I assume that
action.
Far Eye's gonna
Yeah.
get into it,
2d20s,
especially
right?
with Far Eye's new armor. You'll be able to dance and whatever.
Okay, so
let's
2d20s,
roll
right?
a charisma performance check with advantage.
Yeah.
With advantage, so that'd be my charisma, which is
Oh.
a +4 proficiency bonus as well.
Yep.
So that will be 7?
7 total. What's
No.
advantage?
I'm counting up
Oh, sorry.
modifiers. So 7 in modifiers. If I'm correct, it's 7 in modifiers. Then 2 d20s.
Yeah, and you pick the highest D20.
Okay. Ooh, the highest is 18.
Yeah, plus 7 is 25, right?
No, that's with the +7.
Oh, plus 7. Okay. Cool.
Not as great as
Good.
last time, but still good.
Good, but not as epic as last time. But still
Yeah.
good. In fact, the layman doesn't even notice. Especially if Nicodemus is pouring his jug.
I imagine he will be.
When will I not be?
That will be the day you die. Hopefully, you'll still be pouring your drink.
Anything else you guys wanted to do this evening? Because again, that's a good enough performance. And a lot of the problems you have with tonight's performance is number one, you gave it all you had the night before. So your voice is kind of gravelly. You don't have the what do you call it, endurance in your voice because you blew it out the night before. A second thing is you were running out of material last night, so you were improvising a lot. And you're having a hard time trying to remember the stuff you're improvising. Like the certain turns of phrase that you used with your words when describing the battles of yourselves and your companions. And, you just weren't quite able to remember. And you spent too much time trying to remember rather than the night before you were letting it flow. So, although it was still a good performance, even by Waterdeep standards, it didn't compare to last night, especially for yourself, which is sometimes the most important. But no one complains. No one complains. No one even seems to notice, which helps you to enjoy the evening because you're able to just relax and, oh, well, I'm not singing my best, but no one cares. I'll just have fun. Do you guys sleep? You go to sleep late? You guys are all in your rooms. I want This is almost like an initiative. I just want to see who's first. Who notices? Everybody roll me a die 20. I just want to see who's highest. I want to see who.
Oh, not me. I wrote 2.
18. Pretty quick.
I wrote 11.
Carl.
A 9.
Nicodemus. You're not even sure how much you even slept yet. You got that feeling. You're still kind of like wine buzzed and
Usual. No big deal.
Yeah. Like it's like it honestly feels like you might have only slept an hour. It might be longer. You're not even sure, but you're still like. But you're kind of like you don't even realize you're sleeping until you're waking up. I mean, because you're dreaming. You're clang, 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 clang. And you start to realize, like, oh, it's not part of your subconscious. Real clang, 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 and it kind of focuses in. You're what? And you're like, oh, I'm still drunk. Clang, clang. What the hell is that? Shut up, clang. And you surface to reality enough to realize that you hear a damn town crier just out, like, and he's.
I'll start shaking people awake. Something's going on. Something's going on.
Why? Why this far away?
Oh, my head.
I think
You guys all hear clang, 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 and a guy yelling, and he can fucking yell. Like when he yells, the glass actually in the windows actually vibrates. Like he yells.
I open the window.
Okay, you open up. Oh, and it's even louder. By word of Lady Laurel Silverhand, to remain calm, no danger is no danger. By word of Lord Lady Laurel Silverhand, please remain calm. There is no danger to the city or
Well,
its
obviously
residents.
there is danger.
Please remain calm. And you hear him like kind of go across the street or whatever, and he shouts to the four corners again, and he's like, clang, clang. It's a little bit quieter, but not so much, just he was on you.
What other news do you have, crier?
Just you're looking out the window. Roll me a perception there, Far Eye.
$22.
In the morning, in the dim light of the sunrise, because the sun is just barely coming up, right? Like, you kind of look over and you're, what the hell? And you look over and kind of like you could see Mount Waterdeep from your angle because like you guys are more north of it, and that's, you have a south facing window. It's kind of it's you're looking south and it's to your right as well. So it's like southwest of where you are. But you can see the mountain, and you can see like part of the city over top, and as it lowers down, you can see in the mist and the dim light, you could see a castle, a giant-sized castle flying in the sky about 1,000 feet up.
Oh shit!
Is that a familiar castle?
It is not,
is it
because
the same castle?
the one that you guys were in was Zephyros. His castle was almost was a tower. It was a tower that was like almost comically shaped like a wizard hat, almost like.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, we never saw the one in Nightstone. We came in after, didn't we?
Yeah.
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 Quite. Yeah. I kind of head back into the end, guys. Quite. There was a cloud giant castle above us.
Is it
Nothing
Zephyrins?
to worry about. Nothing to worry about, I'm sure.
Is it Zephyrins?
It's not it doesn't look like Zephyrus' castle. It might be him. I don't
Maybe
know.
he's redecorated. He seemed like a nice enough fellow. Hopefully he's like built an addition on or something. Helped out
I
with the
could-
facade.
If you want me to waste a spell slot, I could send him a message and ask him.
A town crier was telling everybody to remain calm when Farai went out and looked. He
Yeah.
saw there's a cloud giant
yeah.
castle
Yeah.
flying
Or,
over.
How do we get there?
it seems like the authorities think they have it under control. Like, we're not. If the town crier's yelling that, but either that or they just don't want mass panic on their hands. But
Ooh, think about it. It could be bad cloud giants off to attack the city, and we could somehow get up there and take it for our own and have our own floating cloud castle. How super cool would that be?
That would be cool.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
I'm just drunk enough to try.
Definitely.
How do we get out there, though? I can't fly yet.
You guys do know you got some pixie dust.
We have pixie dust.
Yes, we do.
I have a question.
Yes.
If I polymorph and the spell is still in effect and the concentration isn't broken, could I change the shape of the creature I polymorph into? I know
I
in
know
first
that.
edition you could.
Well, that's kind of one of the things for shape change. So I don't know, but probably not.
Oh,
No?
I know what you mean. Go from one creature to another without wasting a different spell.
Yeah.
I know what you say because the spell does not say that, but
But it doesn't say that you can either, so it's kind of
right. Do you know what, Michael?
I think.
Until it breaks something, I would say, yeah.
Okay.
So I could,
It would just take you an action to change, but
that sounds reasonable.
because really, how does it? Unless it really breaks something, I'll have to say yeah for now. Because you used to be able to. You were under the you were under the influence of a polymorph spell.
Yeah.
Unless you did it to someone.
Or maybe that was shape change, because I'm recalling a story.
Oh, that is shape change.
Yeah, that was shape
it
change.
is.
So there you go.
Shape
Yeah,
change
because there you go. Because I just thought of it when I said it. Yeah, when you because you could cast polymorph on someone, and they were stuck that.
Okay.
But you remember when it used to become permanent?
Yeah.
Yeah. True polymorph at level 9. You can do that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's.
Okay, so that's a no then. All right.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
Polymorph into a bird, and then once I'm up there, then polymorph into something cooler. But I don't want to waste a 4th level spell slot just to get up.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I mean, we could try the pixie dust, but as far as I've been told, we're not necessarily going to get flight.
Wait until we determine that we need to go up there. I mean, let's just face it, we're going to have to go up there.
Fair enough.
Or else,
But does it matter if we need to go up there? If we want the castle, then we're going up there, aren't we?
I mean, we how about those Griffin riders? Remember they're like flying around all over the place.
Yeah. Did I see any of them in the sky? Because you said they were there a lot, or we could see them earlier.
It is dark.
Yeah.
Well, we do got cloud.
Yeah. Cloud. Yeah. Yeah. They are there. Yeah. You could always see Griffin riders somewhere. And
And Darrell would say, you remember Cloud said something about them forcing them out of the sky when he was flying around last night?
Yeah, they'll look into this.
Hey, if we want to take this castle, I'm for it. But
I'm sure they're accosting the cloud giants now as we speak, and that will
Let's
determine.
go outside and take a look. Let's see if they are.
Yeah, sure. I get my armor on header side, so it will probably take me a bit. Because I don't sleep in my armor, obviously. But if we're going to be in combat, then I want to be in my armor.
Yeah, it'll be 5 minutes to don heavy armor.
Alright, I'll put my breastplate on. And my shield.
Alright, once I'm done, grab a shield, grab my warhammer.
Maybe it's even 10 minutes for heavy.
Might
Because
be.
I think it's one. I think it goes like 1, 5, 10. I think it's 5 minutes for medium and 10 for heavy.
Right, anyway, regardless, I'm going to put it on before I head outside. So,
yeah.
If anyone else wants to head out first, then,
you guys can grab your gear. When you get outside, you guys aren't the only gawkers. There are people gawking here or there as like the morning is. People are trying to do their regular morning thing. But,
Are the Griffin Riders attacking the castle?
it does not look like the Griffin Riders are attacking the castle, but you can see that they are flying like kind of like a perimeter. Not tight. They're giving it lots of room. But they're not attacking it. And you can hear the clang, clang, clang of the town criers. You can hear like,
Nothing to worry about. Ignore the massive castle right above you.
Pretty much.
Well, if it doesn't attack us, it should be fine.
Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain.
It's like ID4, Independence Day. They're just moving into position and then...
Sorry. If they destroy it, though, then we can't get it. I really want to take this castle, guys.
Wouldn't that be cool?
Oh, yeah.
I would be.
Maybe they'll even put a staircase down for us like Zephyrin did.
Maybe.
Maybe.
But I don't want to start an unnecessary war.
The war's already started.
Well, not necessarily between these guys.
The present one.
It could be good. It could be. Could be good.
50 chance.
So we armor up, gear up, stand outside.
Already done.
There's like just like like 30 feet away, there's a street vendor cooking street food already that smells delicious, and he's just acting like he's taking opportunity of the people who are gawking, right? Like he's like already like.
Well,
hey, what's up?
I'm hungry. Anyone else for some grub?
Yeah.
All right, I head over.
Okay. When you go over, you could see that he's got like now. I'm talking jumbo shrimp, right? Like these are like they could be like lobster, and he's got them grilling on like this kind of hibachi thing on legs, and he's got them grilling, and he's got like his seasonings and stuff, and he's got like baskets of these things miraculously on ice that he's like cooking up and hustling to people.
You get excitement like this often in Waterdeep? I ask him as I kind of head up and look at his food.
With Waterdeep, you never know what you'll see in Waterdeep. They call it the city of splendors. For certain it is. Can I get you some harbor shrimp?
What would everyone else like? I look at my companions.
He says, I will wrap it in a banana leaf. You eat it as you go.
Sounds good.
One for me, one for my friend Silence here.
It's 4 copper.
I pay
And he's
for a cover.
getting them quick. He's like wrapping them and taking them off the grill and wrapping them and taking the money and everything as it goes.
I have one of silence and I start eating my own.
Replaces
No, it's not bad.
the empty spaces on the grill with fresh ones. It's hot, a little spicy, but the green crunch of the leaf makes it easy to hold.
Nice.
It's cool on the fingers.
I mean, I've got Inferno, but there's probably not a lot of stuff that's very hard for me. But yeah, nice.
There are other people buying and some people kind of talking. Some people are, doing their daily stuff. But you guys are like kind of in an upper middle class area, so people aren't having to immediately rush to work. But honestly, there's the castle, and you can see the Griffin Riders are like keeping formation around it and kind of keeping a respectful distance. And from what the town crier says, he does keep on proclaiming the open Lord, Lady, Laurel Silverhand, that by her proclamation that the citizens are to remain calm, the city is safe, and there is no need to panic. They're not under attack. It's just another one of the splendors of the city.
I kind of look over at my companion and say, I think I should send a message to Laurel Silverhand and see if she wants our assistance. Hello?
Hello. Might not be a bad idea.
Should we wait for Charles? He's out for
No,
a bit.
I'm back.
No, he came back.
Oh, he's back. All right.
That's why I kind of reiterated what was going on there at a point.
Yeah. All right.
Carl will say, maybe one of these wizards will have some fireworks to welcome them. Shoot them on up in the sky and welcome them so they can see and say, like we're saying, hello, we killed your brother.
Let me see how do I want to word this message, because I think I'm going to send it. I want to send, you know what, fuck it. I'm going to send a message to Laurel Silverhand, which I assume that sending would work, because it says someone I'm familiar with, so would that be enough for me to send her a message?
I don't think knowing a name is familiarity. I think we had talked about this before even.
Yeah.
I believe so,
Fair enough.
yes.
We spent a couple weeks in his house with him. I mean, that's somewhat familiar.
Who?
No,
not Laurel Silverhand.
I'm talking about the Open Lord of Waterdeep, which I'm sending her a message asking if we can assist.
Yeah, I'm rolling on that one.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, do we know where she would be located? That she's an Open Lord. Would we know where she was located? We could go and ask her in person instead of go ask her the old-fashioned way.
You especially know silence.
That like,
Yep.
I mean, it's right there. The mountain and Castle Waterdeep atop of it. That's where like all politics, all administration, all everything happens. She has a different residence, but if that's where she would be, that's where she works, that's where all government, all everything takes place is Castle Waterdeep atop Mount Waterdeep in the middle of the city of Waterdeep.
Yeah.
You know, if she's anywhere, it's probably there, especially with that thing up in the sky.
So what do you think? Should we head over there, see if we can and offer our assistance? Worst you can say is no.
I'd say yes, but keep an eye on the situation.
Well, pretty easy. I kind of
Yeah,
pointed
it's
at
right
the
above
temple.
us.
Right. So I guess we're gonna head up to Castle Waterdeep.
Do you guys want to walk or take public transit?
What kind of public transit is available?
Big drays, especially the big two-leveled wagons pulled by like teams of horses.
Sure, let's hop on one of those.
I'm talking like, yeah.
Yeah.
And
I think we should definitely take one of
basically-
those.
Basically, they just will take you on main streets because you got to get from the North Ward all the way down to like Mount Waterdeep down in the Castle Ward.
I'm assuming if something's happened, it'll happen en route. I just want to make sure we can keep watching it from the route.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Oh yeah, especially because that's pretty much the direction you guys are flying towards, because that thing is not far away from the castle or from the mountain itself.
So
It's pretty much over the Castle Ward as well.
So is this thing like drifting in the air, or is it like just stopped in the air?
It's just
has
parked.
it moved?
It's just parked.
Okay.
No, it's just parked. It looks like it probably arrived sometime in the night, because it was like even stationary. You guys spotted it, so it looked like it had come sometime in the night. And as the sun was coming up, more and more people were noticing. More people were waking up, were noticing, and you pass through a few different wards. Ones where there's like a lot of commerce. You could see that when you get into the Castle Ward, there's more of those big statues. And with Silence's help, she could tell you that like there are 8 giant statues in Waterdeep. 6 of them are here in the Castle Ward. There is a lot of buildings that look bureaucratic, temple-style buildings. One of the larger, more elaborate stone buildings, you're like thinking like, oh, that must be like some sort of ministerial building or big temple. When it rolls by, you guys can see a big sign out front that says the Yawning Portal.
Hey, I hear they have some good tales.
It's a big bar. Like, it's big. It doesn't even look like a bar. It's big. It's like easily.
Maybe we'll go for a drink there once we're done.
Yeah.
Easily 2-3 stories tall.
Is there Acquisitions Incorporated headquarters around? Do we pass it?
It's somewhere, but it's, if I remember correctly, it's not out in the open. It's kind of tucked in an alley, I thought. I might be wrong, but I thought it was.
Okay, it could be. I had no idea.
Yeah, I could be wrong, but that's what I always thought it was. That was tucked in an alley somewhere. You have to go look through one of Waterdeep's infamous alleys. The dray does not go up the mountain, so when you guys depart
like just on like I think it is called Castle Street even, and then you guys could start to send your way up the mountain. It's like broad, and you could see that there's like, oh, that's where like the Dung Sweepers Guild office is. You know, it's like partially up the mountain.
But when I step the wagon, my cloak will flutter in the breeze.
That
Cloakability.
yeah. Eventually, you guys make your way up to Castle Waterdeep. You see here there are guards, not the watch.
During the wagon ride,
yeah.
could I have done a ritual?
Yeah.
Will there be will or woe from this castle overhead? Could be.
The question mark one, whatever it is.
Unclear.
Unclear. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So you at least know.
There's a possibility of it going bad.
Yeah, like they're not here for absolute malice, right? Like they're not here to. If it was a raid, they would have started or whatever, right? Eventually, you get your way to the castle. Castle gates are open. There are guards. There's some hustle and bustle, but it's hard to tell if it's like normal or not. Inside this great courtyard, there is looks like a wizard tower in this courtyard. Like not part of the castle, just aside. It almost looks like a heritage site. Like the way it's just alone in the courtyard. And then there's like the main Waterdeep Castle. Doors are open. There's big walkway, big stairs going in. Doors are open. There's guards. There's people here and there. And I mean, like, there looks like there are merchants. It looks like there are guild people. It looks like there are people of like all ethnicities. There are also people of different races. Even strange races you're not even sure you recognize.
Oh shit, stranger than us.
Like as you walk in, like
That's an achievement.
into like this grand foyer, and there's like tapestries and carpets and chandeliers and people here and there, and the murmur, and you can see that there's like it looks like people who are dressed as like pages and clerks, right, with tunics and short leggings on and ink stains on their fingers, and getting orders from superiors, and running people with stacks of books and papers, and off to the side you hear like there are 3 tall, thin people that are all blue, and they're wearing almost like Japanese kimonos of like a weird like
the Blue Man Group.
Kind of, yeah, but they're wearing like weird Japanese robes that like are very like the very like boxy style. Do you know what I mean? Like the sleeves are very boxy and the shoulders are boxy, and one of them is holding like a fancy incense burner. The other one has a gong that it keeps tapping once in a while, and the other one has some bells that they ting ting ting, and they're just slowly walking, the 3 of them, and murmuring, and you're like, oh, that's weird. You kind of look on one of the stairways that lead up onto a different level. You see a person with the head of an elephant carrying a staff walk onto another balcony and into a room. And there are just like people all over, like you said, very like everything from bureaucrats to ambassadors and nobles, and
And you're all kind of gazing around when you hear, "Excuse me, may I help you?" And you look down, you see a little halfling in red, kind of orangey red robes with little glasses set upon her nose that she lifts off as she gazes up at you all. And she says, "I noticed you seem to all look lost."
Not
No.
necessarily lost. It's
cloud?
just we saw a giant castle on a cloud outside and thought, ooh, that doesn't look good. And since we've dealt with giants before, dangerous ones, we thought we'd offered our service in case things get a bit hairy.
Oh, well. Puts her
Perhaps you
glasses
do not
back.
recognize us. We are the heroes of Bryn Shander as I step forward in my cloak billows and the snow breeze.
He's very proud.
We're the heroes of Bryn Shander. I myself have killed the frost giant Queen Rufy. And I happen to let you know that I have special communication from the god Bacchus, letting me know that these giants that are located in this castle may or may not be up to the good. There's a definite possibility that this could go badly, and it requires a delicate touch in order for it not to. It's still a possibility that it won't go badly, and I am sure that you need our assistance in this. For example, if something were to go badly wrong and a fight broke out and the cloud giants were slain, surely you would need someone with experience in dealing with giants to take control of the flying castle. Lest it fall down.
I'd say we're
upon
better
your
at
fair
fighting
city.
the giants than actually discussing.
Indeed.
Garl would
Well.
turn around and say, I'm the king of the goblins. I'm here.
He's a very important
Oh
person.
my, I can see why.
Just being an emissary of goodwill and strength between kingdoms. Where's the king of this large establishment?
Look, you must be new. Waterdeep doesn't have a king.
I keep telling them that. They don't listen.
By a group of lords, but anyways, that's neither here nor there. I don't know anything about the lady's plans, but if you want to ask her yourself, I actually think that she's over in the foyer.
Thank you for your help. And now
And she points her little stubby finger to in and to the left.
I'll nudge Carl and be like, "Hey, no king. That means it's up for claiming."
Eh.
And wink.
How many times must I tell you? We don't have a king, we have a queen.
And Garl will go ahead and look back at Nicodemus, slap him on his shoulder, and then rub.
As I understood, it's more of a collective of rulers.
That's right.
Anyway, let's go see the open lady.
You follow her directions. You go to left, and you can see that, again, the hustle and bustle continues. It looks like there's this section breaks off into offices or something like that. But in the foyer of it, you can see there's a small group of people gathered. Other people moving around, but there's a small group of people gathered. In the center of this group is a woman with long white silver hair. Not white silver hair because she's old, just because when she turns to talk to someone and you see her profile, she's by no means could be a day over 30.
Human.
But when I say long, yeah, human, and when I say her hair's long, I'm talking Crystal Gale long,
that long.
to behind her ankles.
Yeah. I don't think many people here besides with no Crystal Gale besides me, you, and Charles.
Yeah, like, and it's
It's
like,
okay. I have Google.
Okay.
Dolly Parton's sister.
Okay, I see. All right, got the image.
But it's like white silver hair, and she's clutching a staff, and she's talking with just people. There's like a dude in armor. There's like a couple bureaucrats. Well, I hear you jumping in, Cloud, but you having audio issues?
He's muted.
Because he
I'll
jumped
do
out and in again.
It shows that he's muted there, so there you go.
Hey. Yeah, and she's like dressed in very nice clothing, but not like super elegant. It's like just very nicely tailored, complementary colors.
Oh, well, I'm not gonna interrupt her.
You can tell just by the whatever that it seems to be a somewhat casual conversation, because she like does toss her head back and laugh a little bit. Oh. You can see one of the people that she is talking to breaks off, turns around and walks away, and that man is a tall man, broad-shouldered, wearing very wizardly robes, and even had a hat tucked under his arm and a staff and a long white
Does it look?
beard.
Does it look like Zephyrus's tower?
A little bit, but kind of.
Darl-
The pointy wizard hat, yeah.
Darl holler out towards him. Don't go away, Mad. Just go away. She's looking for a real man.
Oh yeah, and he's also got like a blue sash over his shoulder and stuff like that. But he departs the conversation and leaves. There's a couple other people just there. Looks like one of them might be like the dude in armor. He might be like you kind of look. Well, he might be a Griffin rider. And she's talking to some other bureaucrats and clerks, whatnot. Other people, as they walk by, they'll say a greeting, and she smiles and touches their arm, says something, and they leave. And
Well,
you guys are watching them talk.
Darl then will turn around and say, "My platinum beauty, I'm here representing the goblins, and they're here to give you support and help in your time of need. I am Darl, king of the goblins, giant slayer, and just mighty of arm, and savior of women."
Okay. You roll me either a charisma, deception, or persuasion, whichever way you're doing it. I don't know if you're deceiving or persuading, so.
Well, and that whole string of things is actually both.
Does God believe he's telling the truth?
Like I said, in that whole
Do an
string of
insight
things
on himself.
is both. But
Yeah.
see, there's a 17 on the die, and my deception would be make that a 21, and my persuasion. Yeah, I'll go with my deception. 21.
You see she's talking, you kind of get her attention, she kind of like looks over her shoulder, kind of double take, and you notice that she does actually catch what you say. And it looks like the person says to her, like, who the hell's that? Because she kind of shrugs, like, I don't know.
You just hear the production.
And then she begins walking over to all of you.
I assume
And it looks like that Griffin guard is walking with her.
I assume we're wearing our medals, by the way, the ones from Bryn Chandler. If you might recognize that.
Okay.
Always.
Again, people, like, as she's walking, she's very popular. Like, as she's walking, people are, like, stopping to want to talk to her. You can see she's like, oh, excuse me, I have something I want to take care of, right? You know, and she ends up coming over. And she gets within conversation distance. And she says, and how may I help all of you?
Well,
We offer our assistance in case anything goes south with the giants currently in their castle on a cloud over the city.
She says, I might have to get the town criers to change their message. She says, you're the third adventuring party already that's come to destroy the giants.
Well, not necessarily destroy. It depends on what they do. We've seen giants doing a lot of destroying, but we've also met giants who don't do that. So if things go south, we're here to help.
Also, we are here to let you know I have a distinct message from the god Bacchus that there may or may not be something afoot here, and that this situation needs to be handled delicately and most assuredly by us, since we have definite experience with giants. Perhaps you've heard of us. I am, and my cloak will flutter, even though there's no breeze. I'm the player of Queen Trufi, the Frost Giant Queen. Perhaps you've heard of me, and our friends, the defenders of Bryn Shander. We've also succeeded in repelling the Frost Giant invasions from Fireshear. We have repelled a Frost Giant assault against Arzentarls, the Keep. And I've arrived here.
Xanthrals keep with an X.
And Xanthrals. And we have
the Xanthrals keep with an X, yeah.
We have also had experience riding in one of said Frost Cloud Giant castle keeps before, and that's how we made it to Bryn Shander. So I would assume that my lady would take great advantage of the personas that she sees before us and their experience that they have dealing with giants.
I'd say we have more experience killing giants than actually talking with them.
Well, we did.
And they don't seem to be attacking, so I'd say it's more of a talking situation.
If you recall Zephyrin, have you heard of him, my lady? Zephyrin, the Cloud Giant lore master? He has dedicated to us that he has had great visions and insight that we are necessary to quell this giant uprising. So perhaps my lady would like to lend us a few griffins to go up there and see what we can parlay with these cloud giants and
again, if things go south, we're better at killing the giants than actually talking to them, and I'm pretty sure with your enthusiasm and all the booze you've got on you, we're more likely to have a murder party than an actual drinking party.
Darl, in the middle.
And if things do go south, you don't want that frost giant, that cloud giant keep falling down upon your fair city. You will need people up there to be able to control it and fly it around and keep it and make it their home and be your ally.
You know, I think she's already sent people.
Darl, in the middle of this, will say, you've already helped us, or at least me, by your coming and gracing us with your beauty and your elegance. You've healed my wounded soul. And however we may be able to assist you,
well, I
seems to be wounded every Tuesday.
I took some interest in what you said, because as it usually is the way, with everything that's going on, the goblins are often co-opted as troops by giants. And when I heard someone who seems to speak for the goblins to vow allegiance to Waterdeep and the Lord's Alliance and the North in general, that
Oh
could
God.
be a fortuitous situation.
Oh, and I might also add that some of us oppose the Zatarum takeover of Nightstone. Me and the King of Goblins over here. Now, others of a more demonic persuasion among our group may not be as well as us.
The last time I didn't know there was a term.
Yes.
You guys are never gonna let that go, are you?
So if you could loan us 4 griffins, maybe.
If things go south, how many times do I have to reiterate that? We're better at killing giants than actually talking to them, and they don't seem to be killing anyone at the moment.
I think we're pretty good at talking to them.
And may I put a bit of a damper on this?
I got a jug
We have
full of
fought
rocks.
giants.
Good at
We have
talking.
never fought quite giants.
But my
And most of us are grounded on the floor.
but my platinum beauty and lady of elegance, if you could assist our friend here, Cloud, with giving him a flying permit, you could see he has strong wings and is built for such. There again, we may be able to assist by being a messenger of goodwill or doom, whatever your choice be.
Well, goodwill, as you said, we do not want to start a battle with cloud giants above the city. For one, I met with them shortly after their arrival.
Oh.
We were alerted of the castle approaching, and I myself went there
Oh, excellent.
along with my warden.
Say it's not so, my lady. You're not locked up. How could someone be a warden of
He's
of
my
old
warden. He doesn't watch me. He watches for me.
Ah.
What, you guys didn't get that? Yeesh.
What reason do the quiet giants have for parking in their castle above Waterdeep?
It can't be for free parking.
She says, let's just, and she motions her head, and she takes you to just like a side office, right? Like it's 99% not her office. It's just a side office. She just goes in and shuts the door. It's just a very plain bureaucratic office, writing station and some shelves and whatnot. But she goes in and she very casually sits on the edge of the desk.
You said her hair is like Crystal Gale's in length.
Yeah.
So as she's walking on leading us and such, Gar will try to clip a lock or two of it so we could have it.
You can't cut it.
Oh.
Damn.
And she actually kind of feels a kind of slight tug. And she just glances down and smiles. And she says, people are always trying.
Well, one has to give it a try. Such a platinum beauty as you.
And it is like literally like silver threads. Like it's that powdery shininess of like powdery gray of silver.
Okay.
So she's actually got silver hair.
His little stick will be.
But you can't cut it. Silver you could probably cut with scissors, but
I just
you can't cut it.
Just wanted a keepsake to remember her by. Is how he's going to sell it.
And she like
grabs her hair, pulls it across her body, sets it on her lap as she like sets herself down very casually on the desk in this room. So her hair is draped on her lap and over. She doesn't have, although she looks like an aristocrat and a bureaucrat, she doesn't really behave like one. She looks like she'd be like fun to hang out with in a tavern.
Yeah, she does.
She says,
Is this the D&D
The-
version of Stevie Nicks?
I don't know. But she says, the north is scattered with ruins of the ancient giant kingdom known as Historia. Like everywhere. Everywhere from north of the spine of the world, farther south than Daggerdale, and as far east as Yanarok. There are ruins and sign everywhere of the giant kingdom known as Historia. Apparently, she points up, she points up, they believe that Waterdeep and Mount Waterdeep is part of Historia, and they're here to see if they can glean any knowledge. Now, we are happy to appease them since studying is a peaceful thing. However, if there is knowledge to be gleaned, we don't necessarily know if that should go in the hands of the cloud giants with everything that's going on. After all,
Well, we know not if this is the same group, but we know that the cloud giants, a group of cloud giants attacked Nightstone and stole the namesake of the town. So
and you think they might have the Nightstone?
if it is the same group, then at least they're not. If it is the same group, they're not. There would not be a bad resorting into violence if they don't get what they want. That's what I'm saying.
Perhaps they just haven't found what they want yet.
Perhaps.
Oh, that's a bit concerning.
Well, and what is it you want from me?
Well, it would be nice if Cloud had a flying permit, and again, we're just here to offer our help.
Also, we've heard that you've had problems with the stone giants attacking the golden fields and the harvest, and we were wondering, since, as I've mentioned to you before, we are known people who can successfully deal with giants. What reward or assistance you would be able to help if we were to look into that situation for you?
You seem to be in a giant hunting role at the moment.
Just troubleshooters.
Yeah, pretty much.
We find trouble and we shoot it.
There
With
are
whatever we've got.
we have done other things other than like kill every giant. I'm just as
Almost every giant. We're working on that.
Yeah. I've also negotiated with giants. I've dealt with giants.
That's really cute.
What? Yeah, thank you. And my cloak will billow.
Really cute that you think that you're the only ones doing things while everyone sits idle.
say we're the only ones. We are successful.
I have no doubt that there are other groups out there dealing with giants.
Oh, surely there has
As
to
far
be.
as I know, this stuff has been happening everywhere. So
I'm the Open Lord of Waterdeep,
there would have to be.
which means
So there's no king?
no, there's the Open Lord, and then there is all the masked lords whose identities are anonymous, so that no one has leverage. It's a level playing field. No one can use politics, not to say that politics don't happen, but that's with the nobles. And not to say that trying to Waterdeep, trying to control who and what comes in and out of the city. But you wake up and there's a cloud giant castle because of some damned ordering has been broken by some indifferent god.
The Hecaton, I believe, is his name, according to Zephyrin.
Anon.
Anon.
Damn, did I fuck that up?
And people up and down the coast are suffering for it.
Well,
And there's a war with the Black Network and the Xanathar's Thieves Guild happening right now in the city streets. This happens, not to mention...
I know you're overwhelmed, and we'll take some of that burden off of you by taking care of one of those things for you. Which one would you like us to take care of? As a lord, you delegate. We're offering to be delegated.
Delegate to competent people.
And as we have said, we have quite the experience.
In killing giants, not talking with them.
Giant hunters around here. Seasoned, experienced giant hunters wearing medals.
Go. My big concern is the people in the winter and the food.
So the Golden Fells.
So
the stone
I
giant.
would have to say, well, just that whole area is hill giants and stone giants. Like pretty much everywhere east. That whole east in the Deseret Valley and stuff like that. Like it's wherever the stone giants can come up from the Underdark, they do, and they've been.
They're Underdark dwellers.
Stone giants.
you know,
Underdark dwellers.
That's. She says from what I've been told that's in their own domain, stone giants are quite reasonable. But when they come to the surface, for some reason they see the surface world as a dreamscape. And well, like you or I in our dreams, you can do what you want without consequence, as do they. And us little things are somehow almost nightmarish to them. So their consequences don't... Their actions have no consequence. Because to them, the above world is a dream world. The hill giants are the ones that I worry about for the everyday folk, because anywhere there's crops and gardens and things like chickens and cows, that's the hill giants go see them as easy pickings. The fire giants have been roaming around the north looking for something. We believe it's an ancient war machine that was used during the war of the giants and the dragons.
Oh dear.
And that brings onto another hand. The giants' ancient enemies, the dragons. Now, in this Forgotten Realms, the Queen of the Dragons, Tiamat, Horde of the Dragon Queen shit happened.
Tiamat? Hey, Babylonian.
But that all happened. Like the Horde of the Dragon Queen, those adventures, that happened. So there was a few years ago, there was an uprise of the dragons, which was subdued. With no help of the giants are now in an uprise. One can't help but see some sort of connection between the two
Connection.
events.
That's a good point.
Well,
Like only-
Zephyrus told us that the unknown was unhappy that the giants didn't fight the dragons when they were rising up, and that's why he got rid of the ordning.
So he just sat idly by while the dragons attempted to take over the world by raising Tiamat.
She nods. She says, that confirms a lot of what we've been speculating upon. She says, I thank you for that information.
You're welcome. Is a reward.
She laughs.
Oh God.
You're still drunk from yesterday, aren't you, mate?
I haven't been sober in quite a while.
It'll be weird.
Well, perk to that is you're never hungover, right?
I'll take
She
my
hops off the desk and starts rifling through it for parchment. She finds a nice, heavy piece of vellum. And she looks around and she finds some quills and she goes through a few and she kind of looks at a few, selects one of them finally, and then goes and grabs some different kinds of inks, and she finds a nice ink. And she sits down at the desk, and she's still like kind of having this conversation with you guys, and she begins to like write on this vellum. And when she's done, she then opens up another drawer, pulls out a little box of sand and sprinkles sand all over it, puts the ink and quill away, then shakes the sand off. She says, I'd still give it some time to dry. And she hands it over to Cloud. And it is basically like a fly registration, like a fly permit. It's like just handwritten and hand signed, but she has very nice like calligraphy skills. Like very nice. You could tell she practices a lot.
Can I roll a sleight of hand?
Sure.
14.
Okay.
I wanted to slip her a diamond.
Okay. Yeah. Colin probably spots it. He's probably got a better spot. But anyways, yeah, it's a fly permit. And it's written on like nice vellum, which is like sheepskin, right? Like it's like embossed with like the Waterdeep logo up top. Signed. Lord Larrell Silverhand. She says, if you're truly that curious and you would like to investigate the castle, she says, perhaps we can think of an excuse as to why you've been sent there.
Carl will step up to the plate and say, I am an emissary of the goblins. And I told you I'd do anything, or the goblins will do anything to support you. We can go and be necessary, lending our goodwill to them in the castle floating in the air.
I might also say that since Zephram has told us that each giant is out for themselves, there's not a lot of camaraderie amongst them. And I, as the slayer of the Frost Giant Queen Trophy, may earn me some brownie points with the Cloud Giants because they all would anything that's not good for some of their rivals is good for them.
Oh, you already passed the divide and conquered bit. We're already divided. Now you just need to conquer.
Yeah.
So if I sent you there, you would say, she raises her eyebrow questioningly.
And Garl,
We'd have to find out what information they were trying to gather and how we could assist them to be on their way and to make sure that they understand the worries of Waterdeep itself over having such a castle lying overhead that, you know, they could, you know, just drop a waste basket or what have you. I mean, they have, I'm sure they're giants, they have chamber pots. We don't want them just tossing them over the side.
She laughs at that.
I don't know. Have you ever seen
Like-
it rain?
Garl would say, well, you could
Maybe we can
You could
convince
give
them to
us-
park over the harbor
You
and to
could
offer our assistance to find whatever they're looking for.
you could give us a writ giving us permission to pass through and on to them as representatives to you and my goblin kingdom, and as experts in past civilization knowledges, and that we're there to help them explore. And
Oh, Garl is going to end up taking over the world through forgery, isn't he?
She says, I will get you there,
You'll loan us some
But-
griffins.
but what you do is of your accord. You will not be officially representing Waterdeep or the Lord's Alliance, because if you fuck up, I don't
Yeah,
necessarily
I
want that to
understand.
be a fuck up for us all.
I understand.
And she says, but if you want a request as to get up there,
Yes.
she says, I can get you up there.
Loan us some griffins?
Kind of.
Hippogriffs?
Probably to some form
You
of
guys will have to
teleportation.
double. The Griffins won't just let anyone ride them. You will have to be doubled.
I'm the griffin rider.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ow.
You will have to be. They'll have to just drop you guys off. And then,
Means we got no
Well,
way up.
well,
Well,
maybe you can arrange a
guess,
signal.
I guess we'll have to figure out how to fly the castle.
Maybe. I wonder how many cloud giants are there. Or I wonder if it's just I wonder
How big is the castle?
A castle, but cloud giant sized.
Okay, so pretty fucking big.
Okay. So
As I said,
Probably-
like Zephyros, his was like a weird looking tower. This is a castle.
I'm not
Well,
sure or familiar
probably
with Dragon Queen, but there was a castle, a cloud giant castle in there and there were several cloud giants, a host of ogres, many orcs. There was a dragon, and I don't know, just a whole bunch of shit.
So, judging by the frost giant forces that we've seen, there's probably around about 40 or 50 of them out there.
I don't think there's 40 or 50 cloud giants up there, but there's probably.
Yeah, they're emissaries, so they've probably got other creatures working for them.
Yeah, like I said, they probably have an ogre force and orcs, and significant numbers of them.
Yeah, probably goblins as well. Honestly,
maybe some goblin servants.
And Gar would say, lady, could I get to take back with me? Could I get a alliance agreement between you and my goblin kingdom?
Non-aggression
Take back
treaty?
with me?
Huh? How about that? Non-aggression treaty?
She says, yeah, if we can get everything from like a clan name to a territory to the current number of members, like approximate census.
No, Gar will say no problem.
and he's going to make it all up.
Indian goblins.
Cloud would like some specific real estate within the city.
You would?
Yeah, if we don't die.
You don't die, I'll arrange it to happen. How's that?
Okay.
Sounds good.
Don't die, we get a house.
I have something more specific in mind.
Can it be on Troll Skull Alley across from the Waffle Hut?
Oh, we can figure anything out.
Cloud wants the.
If you honestly, property within the city, that's probably something she could pull off, that has
Cloud,
value, right?
Cloud wants the Coco statue.
That is. Well, we'll see because it already has tenants, but we'll have to look into it.
Cloud will deal with that when it comes to it.
Yeah, we'll try to see what we can do to figure that out. Maybe, sure. We'll see. She says, "We'll nothing's out of the question. That's a possibility, because honest to God, it's in the book, but it tells you who lives there. So it's not a no. It's certainly a possibility. Just it currently has an owner, but that could be.
All right, let's go steal a Cloudbound Castle.
She's gonna go out and get that guy that she was talking to before, in armor, and she just goes over, says something to him, and he kind of looks pissed off.
Watch those guys. They could be a problem.
He doesn't look happy about that at all. And then she comes back over, and she says, this is Burl Hemsworthy. I don't know, I just made up the name, so forgive me if I forget it. She says he is one of the...
Any relation to Chris Hemsworthy?
I don't know. I just made up the name off the spot. So, she says, and he's one of the captains of the Griffin Guard, and he said that he'll make sure that you guys get flown up to the castle.
Awesome,
right? And he's like, he doesn't like the thought of just flying around civilians on his griffins.
Civilians? We got heroes of Bryn Shander.
Oh.
Let's go.
You could win those popping balloons at the summer fair.
Come on.
Is that how you got your status as a
Why,
Right.
you little insignificant worm bag, and I gotta do whatever she tells me to.
must suck for you?
Stop whining like a little baby.
Yeah, but
Be a
yeah,
real
but-
man.
maybe, but I got a chance, right?
A chance of what?
Maybe, bro.
That's what I think. That's what I keep telling myself.
Keep going, man.
I hope she doesn't make you clean the toilets.
Have faith, bro.
Yeah, do anything for her because he's got a chance.
Yeah.
Your nickname wouldn't be Beta, would it?
I don't understand your cuckold reference.
Beta male?
Yeah, no, I know.
No,
Yeah, he just
Darrell pushed that point when he says, "I don't."
It can happen, bro. I'm just telling you, it happens.
He leads you outside the castle. He takes you to the other side. Like, you guys are walking outside, right? You guys are walking. It's nice outside. It's morning. You can see that castle. You can see the city down below, off to one side. Looks like it's pretty busy. You can see all the people. You look the other way, you can see the ocean and ships. You can see the castle in the sky. He leads you around the castle to the other side, and you round the castle, you see another great statue, this one of a griffin itself,
Oh.
perched out in front of the castle, looking out towards the sea. Its like back is like 30 feet off the ground. He sees you all looking at that, and he says, it actually has nothing to do with the Griffin cavalry. He stops with his hands on his hips, and he looks at it. He says, it's apparently it can even fly, but I didn't see it. He says, 10 years ago.
What are those walking statues? I think it.
Yeah, he says, but this was the last one to appear. The other ones appeared over 100 years ago. This one appeared only about 10 during the Sundering. He says, and this is finally where it took rest, was up here on Mount Waterdeep. Says a lot of people think it's for the Griffin cavalry, but it's not. It's the only one that's animal shaped that we know of, but we didn't know of it even existed till it appeared, so who knows what else there is.
Well,
there's 8 statues. Statues. As far as we know, 6 of them work.
What are the 2 that don't work?
What is it? The Sleeping Maiden, and she's literally like laying down, like broken up into big segments. She collapsed when she was active. And what's the other one? I'm not 100% sure.
How big are these statues? Are they level with the castle?
90 feet. The humanoid ones are 90 feet tall. Like, you've seen like at least 3 or 4 of them now in the city. There's 8 of them altogether, spread all throughout. Like you said, it was more than 100 years ago when they were active. Then the city's kind of grown up. When they stopped, they just stopped, and where they are, that's people built up around them. This one, like I said, appeared 10 years ago.
Maybe someone will build one of me one day.
Maybe, but that's as far as we don't even know how many there are. It's just like because they came out of the ethereal, like they were stored for time of need, and they would come out in time of need, but they came out and never went away.
Perhaps Dental Keep will build one of you if you manage to let them in another city.
He says,
I agree with you. That blood network, they're like poison in the veins. They are trying to do their best to spread. Right now, they act as an innocent mercenary guild or merchants guild. 100 years ago, it was clearly understood that they were evil, but everyone's forgotten. People forget as time goes on. They tend to
Satyrs don't.
repeat the same mistakes.
Well, I mean, we do. You know, we get drunk and forget things. But other than that, we don't forget.
Mm-hmm. He
Wait,
says,
sorry, a sniffer of this wine.
again, you guys walk, you can see the sea and smell the sea air. Here in the, he takes you to like what looks like a barracks, like way far down at the point, and it looks like it's right on the cliffside. And you can smell the smell of animals. And there are men, and you can see there's like a man carrying like a big quarter section of meat over his shoulder. He walks into the doors of this building, and you can hear like a loud roar screech. And before you guys get to the building, he stops, Burl stops, and he says, have any of y'all ridden a griffin before?
Not had the pleasure yet.
Maybe. I got
When?
really drunk one time, and something happened. I think it was where I rode a griffin. I could be wrong.
When was the last time you were near a horse?
Earlier today when we left our wagon in Troll Skull.
Well, hold on, guys. I'm getting some.
We're all
And
gonna
then
get eaten.
Griffin ate our horse, our original horse.
Yeah, I know. That was the Griffin on Zephyros's castle, right?
Yes.
Wow, full circle.
Yeah. So just FYI, if any of these griffins eat our horse. Oh shit, he could have been asking us about being your horse because the griffins are going to be like, I smell horse on you and try to eat him.
that was what I thought it meant. Because I expect we left our horse back at the thing because we wouldn't have been able to take it on the carriage with us, obviously.
Hello?
Hey,
Hello?
Hello.
Okay. And so, yes, all right. Before we go in, then, he says, come. And he takes you to like a smaller side door. And anyone who's been around like horses and stuff like that, you know that's like probably an entrance to a tack room. When you go in, sure enough, there is like saddles and various harnesses and you know, like riding crops and boots and leather jerkins and gloves and saddle blankets and oils and waxes for maintaining all that stuff. And he goes over to an area where there's like looks like a, what do they call it, like an amphor or whatever, like those clay things that they used to hold wine, those tall weird looking jugs. And he goes over and he opens it,
and he kind of takes a smell and he makes a sour face. And he puts the lid back on and he brings it over, sets it down. He's like, here. And he carries it outside and he says, come. He's like, sprinkle this on yourselves. And he kind of moves away.
Why?
To hide the smell of the horse.
I do so.
Griffins. Okay. Oh, it just reeks. It's like, it just stinks to high heaven. And he even like has his like face kind of buried in his cloak a little bit. And he's like, yeah. It's urine from Bull Griffin. From Bull Griffin.
Okay.
He's like, it'll hide your scent of the horse, or hide the scent of the horses, and it'll make you smell dominant, so they won't think you're food, or less likely to think you're food.
Okay.
So you guys gonna
We should
spritz
take some of
yourself with
that
some.
we should take some of that to put on our horse so that they don't get attacked by griffins again.
Urine from a bull griffin.
That's just awesome.
Let's see here.
All right, Griffin
Do I
Redneck.
have a hunter's kit? No, I don't. So, yeah, I guess Garl will be.
Cue the Eagles theme from Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, it makes sense, eh? When I watched that book, when I watched that movie the first time, I'm like, why the hell? Because it's been forever since I read the book, right? But I'm like, why the hell did the Eagles just fucking stop there? Like, fucking flying right to the mountain. Like, what?
Yeah, that was weird.
There's a big... Until you read the book.
Yeah.
And then the book explains it. But the movie, they sure don't.
I mean, in the Hobbit, Gandalf just goes off for basically no reason, and then comes back and doesn't, and says, "I want to fight the necromancer." I'm like, who's the necromancer? You don't see that.
No, but all that they say in the book is that he was away fighting a necromancer.
Yeah.
That's literally all it says in the book. Like, where were you? Oh, I was fighting dealing with a necromancer.
Not important. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. Oh, totally. Like I was saying about it being a humanistic world, it doesn't matter.
I mean, it was cool to see it, but
Yeah.
yeah. I've got to reread The Hobbit, really.
You guys, once your scent is covered, he will take you into like this, as I said, kind of like looks like a barn almost, and there are stalls similar like that for horses, but bigger with bars, and there are griffins, and there are guys, and I'm talking like 40. Like, it's big. It's not just 10. It's massive building. It's a big military building atop the cliffs. And they just basically, once they get saddled up and stuff like that, the doors open up to just the cliff edge, and griffin ride, and the guys mount their griffins and they clip on into their saddles and they take off, and there are other guys coming in, and
some of the griffins coming in, it's kind of freaky because like they're very agitated. They've had a day already of flying. They're hungry. They want to get their rider off. They want to get their saddle off. They're in a very foul mood coming in.
Foul.
But everybody looks very well trained. Cloud, you can see that here and there are people who are not dressed up like guards. You are able to recognize them as druids. There is at least one head druid and a couple kind of acolytes that are there helping to keep creatures calm, helping to keep creatures healthy and happy, and but it looks it's very efficient, and it's not like this barn was something new. Like even you look at the architecture and stuff like that, you can tell it's old. It's like hundreds of years old. It's as old as a castle. Like
Cloud will walk over to the druids and hand over a couple of giant seeds.
They accept them gratefully, and they even like say like thank you in what's it called, the elemental
Druidic.
air language. Well, in Druidic, yeah.
It's a druid's language that makes sense.
Yeah. And excited, like when you like hand these like fist-sized seeds, they're just like, whoa. May Shantae's blessing be upon you.
Cloud will extend his wings outward, making himself bigger, and just back up until he's behind the party.
Like I said, this place looks old as the castle, as old as like other old parts of the city. It's not like the Griffin Cavalry does not look like to be a new concept. I don't know the history of it totally, but I know that it's as old as the city, the concept of Griffin Cavalry. So it must have been a place where griffins like to roost long before there was a settlement. It must be like a main breeding or main nesting site on the coast, this mountain, on this coast of cliffs. After all, it would be the highest point, right? If you have like 200-foot cliffs that run for thousands of miles, then there's a mountain there. That probably would be where. He will assign you guys with riders. Tell them what's up. You can see like a couple of riders don't really seem that thrilled about taking civilians. The other ones don't mind. Of course, they're the younger ones. They don't seem to be minding taking riders. You guys will get run through the whole kind of
Safety procedures.
Yeah, exactly. Safety procedures. Getting your harnesses on.
Life jackets aboard your seat. Wait.
Yeah.
Please wait until the seatbelt setting is finished off to take your seatbelt off. all of that. I got it.
Okay. We will do all the training, and we will get you guys all paired up, and it's 4:00 my time, and we'll call it there. And we will begin next session with you guys flying to the castle. So we'll begin with some sort of mechanic to see how the griffins handle you. Whoever is flying paired up on a griffin will have to make some sort of roll, because it's not as easy. It's just not that easy to just jump
on a griffin and go. It's going to be, even with trained griffin riders, it's going to be quite. We'll have to see.
Animal handling, maybe.
Well, I'll figure it out because there'll be more than a roll. I'm going to try to make
Yeah.
a mechanic for it,
Okay.
a little bit of a skill, just a little tiny skill game.
Okay.
Because I'll have to see. Because I'll have to see, when does shit go wrong? Does it happen when you're just taking off, or does it happen at 1,000 feet, right? Or, does it like purposefully try to get rid of you, or does it just not want to take off? Or there's going to be a whole bunch of kind of. So.
I still have the pixie dust, so in emergency, I've got a backup plan.
Yeah, because that's all I'm saying is that
Cloud will offer Far Eye 8 diamonds for his pixie dust.
No thanks.
Okay.
Okay, but if you guys want to go make an ambassadorial whatever with the castle, we'll do that next session. We'll continue on, and that's it. Good job.
Yay!
All right.
Yay.
It's like I said, none of. Well, the only thing is that they're like, oh, encounter Waterdeep. Cloud Giant Castle appears. This is who's in it, and this is what they want, and that's really all they say. They don't say, well, what the hell is the fucking everybody else doing about it?
Huh.
I put Lady Illustrial in, or Lady Laurel Silverhand in there because I did.
You think we can take the? You think we can take the castle?
There's going to need a lot of planning and a lot more brains than what we currently have. And I'm afraid next session you're going to be a brain less because I'm afraid I can't make it.
Oh. Why? Let's be nosy.
I won't be with my computer because I'll be down in London.